So there was this occasion where I was taking the bus back from my university to the LRT station, and it was rush hour, so it's safe to say that it was very, very packed.
I met her in a maths class, and she seemed to take interest in me, and I was completely oblivious to this.
I was on the train, just like everyone else who takes public transport, and I just sat down, and suddenly I just noticed this guy who was in front of me looking at his phone, and I didn't take much notice.
And he was coming in, and it was so packed, and they were just like barging in behind us, and he came and stood right behind me, like his back to my back. And I wasn't wearing my bag at that time. I put it on top of this counter, so my belakang was completely exposed lah. And at first, I could realize that I could feel his butt against mine. I thought, it's okay, there's a lot of people, this is purely circumstantial, I shouldn't worry about this. But the moment it started moving, he kept pushing against me. I thought, it's okay, it's normal. I'm sure he's not doing this on purpose.
So one day I was in the library, and she happened to be on the table across, and she called me. She asked me for a little bit of help. So I said, yeah, sure. So I went up there and I helped her. And the minute I helped her and she understood the problem, she put her hand on my back and said, thank you. And then she slowly went down to my ass and grabbed it. And I panicked. In the middle of the library, I was like, wait a minute, something's not right here. And I tried to wiggle my way out of it. But she had her death grip on it, and I just shoved it aside and walked away. Now I thought maybe, you know what, maybe it's me, maybe it's me.
Suddenly I just noticed this guy who was in front of me looking at his phone, and I didn't take much notice until he put down his phone, and his phone was facing me. Then I realized, oh, he has some nude woman on as his wallpaper. So I averted my eyes, for obvious reasons. Just, okay, it's his own thing, I'm not going to interfere. But then I realized he kept taking up his phone just to fiddle with it, and then every time after he fiddled with it, the picture would change. I realized that he was deliberately just showing me nude pictures of women while standing in front of me.
And it's so uncomfortable because I could feel his butt against mine, and it's like, it's all, I still remember it till now. And there came a point where the bus turned in such a way where gravity dictates that, okay, now I would fall on him because he's turning like that. But even before the bus turned, the guy fell on me. Not once, 3 times. It's like, and I'm like, what is happening? Apparently gravity doesn't work on purpose. And I realized this guy is doing this on purpose, right?
Second incident, same girl. Went out with my friends, she tagged along. And then she sat beside me, don't know why. I was making jokes, friends were laughing, went for my ass again. Didn't quite like it, pushed it aside. And then she kept on doing this to a point where she started to get really sexual towards me. She wanted to say, she calling me to her house, or she wanted to come and visit my apartment, or she wanted to have sex. It got really scary after one point because it sort of reminded me of like American Psycho. Yeah, sort of somewhat similar to that.
After a station, the woman next to me left, and then I just got really alert because that was when he sat down next to me. I tried to move closer to the edge of my seat, but yeah, he started trying to just really subtly just try to grope my thigh and no one would be able to see it because everyone's hands are usually by their side anyway. And at first I wasn't even sure if it was his hand, but then enough was enough. I left the seat and then I just sat opposite where a couple was, and they saw me getting away and I think they kind of just got it. But after that, nothing happened all the way until the guy left at another station, and I was the only one left. It was only me there with this experience now etched in my mind. Yeah, that's it.
The moment the bus stopped and I decided to go, okay, it's time to go out, I wanted to take a nice, good look at who this guy is. And I went to the front of the bus and I realized that he was exiting through the back. And I saw him and he saw me. And there was this weird eye contact. And I gave him this stare like, do not mess with me, right? I did not like what you just did. And I was like, that's it, good riddance, I'm gonna go on my way. And I went to the front, and just like that, he started following me. He started following me, and I was like, is this happening? Maybe, no, it's okay. Maybe the back part is, a lot of people, maybe he's using the front entrance side, okay. But he started following me into the LRT station, into the same platform. And I was like, I've just gotta keep going. And then that's when the train came, and I went into this one particular coach, and the door was still open. And just when I was getting really scared because I thought, is this guy possibly following me? And then suddenly I saw him. He came lurking in, and he was kind of looking for something. And then he saw me, and the moment he saw me, he came into the exact same coach and into the same door, and he was standing right beside me. And I was really scared at the moment. I was like, I have to get out of here. And I just suddenly devised this plan that the moment that the lights started blinking to indicate that the doors were closing, I just immediately exited, and he couldn't follow me because there were already so many people in front of him by that time. It was just so full, he couldn't get out. And I just went outside, got in the next coach, and just moved on. And I didn't stop. Even when I came to my own stop, which is at KL Central, I just walked and walked until I reached the KTM station. And when I reached my own station, I just immediately messaged my friend. I said, hey, I think this guy is possibly following me. If anything happens, here's his identification. I still remember it. He wore a blue plaid shirt, and then he wore this brown leather bag. That's how traumatized I was. Yeah.
I told her, I said, look, I don't like this. I think I'm giving you respect, and I expect that same respect as well. I don't know why she thought grabbing my ass or wanting to have sex with me would be a good idea to get me. And I told her, look, I treat you like a woman, but you're completely disrespecting me. And when I told my friends about this, guy friends, the main response they got is, why are you complaining? A girl's grabbing your butt.
But when I got back home and I told an adult about it, I said, this happened to me, and I'm kind of shaken. They were like, oh, yeah, it happens. And then we never talked about it again. And that was it. And I still felt bad, but it's a normal thing, and I shouldn't put too much thought into it.
Adult people around me I would expect them to tell me, okay, you're just not being careful enough on the train. You were wearing a dress, you were wearing a short dress, which I was. And then I would instead be just grounded or lectured. It wouldn't really help. So I didn't tell anyone.
From my case, if I were to when I actually did tell my friends about the girl in uni, they just brushed it off, said, look, you're a man, enjoy it. And I was thinking, why are they dealing with this issue? I guess maybe that whole point is maybe they are less educated on this matter. There's not much light that is brought onto this scenario, maybe.
If you have been harassed, they will question your sexuality. They will question your level of sluttiness. So no one would want to discuss this out in the open. It's always something to do with the girl, the woman, whoever that's sexually harassed.
Specifically, we as an Asian community, we are conflict avoidant. So even if this happens to us, we're like, oh, it's okay lah, don't want lah, don't pursue it, don't cause trouble for yourself, don't invite trouble for yourself. So we kind of dismiss it. But yeah, it's true, we are not pursuing the issue further, we are not fueling it anymore. But at the same time, we are not dealing with it. And because we're not dealing with it, these people continue to do it, and they think it's okay because no one is reprimanding them.
People really need to get this message into their heads that It's not a guy's thing to call out other women and to stare at them, to ogle at their bodies. We're not for your entertainment, you know. And really, it's your fault if you decided to sexually harass, to start saying inappropriate things. It's you who started it. It doesn't matter what I'm wearing, what I was saying, what kind of signals. You need to get a grip on yourself, and people should stop connecting a woman's worth to what she was wearing.
Guys go through it as well. Just because I'm a man, it doesn't mean that I should take a girl smacking my ass or doing weird shit to my body just because I'm a man. I think that needs to be eradicated, because guys always have this thing where we need to act macho, we need to act manly, but this has nothing to do with it. And people who come to you with these kind of issues need to be taken seriously.
So I realized I don't want that to ever happen to any other person anymore. And that's what I can do as a person, or even through this video, maybe we can spread awareness about it and we can start talking about it and saying, hey, we are not okay with this, you gotta stop. And I think even as a community, when we see this happening, we gotta act on it. And as a country, perhaps we have to identify certain laws and kind of like improve it so that we can deal with this issue better and reprimand those guilty of harassment.